Welcome, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for another week of our virtual shows and programs. My name's Steven. I'm here, the owner here at Magical Memories Entertainment, and we are super excited today to have innovative party planners coming on in here. And I have Heidi, the owner, on. I'm going to open myself up. Hi, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us again. This is super exciting. We're doing actually an art project, which is the first time we've ever done anything like this. This is absolutely the first time, and I'm super excited. We have an amazing virtual coordinator here. Heidi, thank you so much for coming on.
I'm excited to be here with you, Steve.
So Heidi, maybe before we get going, you can tell us a little bit about how you got. I know you were doing events before this, all in person, all that stuff, and now we're in a new world. I mean.
We're in the virtual world. World. So we've got a 3,000 square foot warehouse here, and we have the most talented artists. And there's no real need for a lot of artwork right now in events.
Mhm.
So the head of my art department, Sheryl Berger, who's incredibly talented, has been doing dotting and teaching
Okay.
classes. So
Can
we
you
got
tell
this.
us what dotting is? I mean, I'm sure Cheryl will go into it a little bit, but
I
maybe.
was going to say, well, we're going to leave that to Sheryl.
Okay. All right. I'll let her.
Totally her thing. But so we, when everything fell apart and everybody was canceling, postponing, and all these different things, we didn't let that stop us. And I took a class and became certified as a virtual event producer.
Very cool.
And have taken the deep dive into that entire industry and have met people who've been doing it for years, those of us who are new to it, demoing a million platforms, creating, we thought maybe our own for a while, teaming up with others who are, all while I was also still working with my co-founder of Mitzvah Pros, trying to keep us all, our heads kind of focused. So that's how we met, which is so cool.
Yes. Yep.
And at the same time, I have people here that I feel responsible for. We've been together as a team at Innovative Party Planners for so long. And Cheryl's been with me, I think it's been 8 years now. And how can you not think about what they could be doing now too?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Andrea, thank you for joining us. This is I think this is Anyora.
This is my cousin in Chicago, who I have to break an aside from there. Andrea actually brought us our first client for cooking demos, which we also offer. So, I'm kind of looking at what's out there. You guys, with your talent, who are kind of used to being in front of the camera, right?
Yes. Well, we're used to be in front of real people. We've done a big pivot where we're now doing it in front of a camera, and it's definitely a different world as well. And this is actually what these Sundays are all about, is bringing in new, different people and different exciting factors. And that's why I'm glad that you guys are here. I mean, this is super exciting to be able to have.
This is new for us. So, we're always behind the scenes. We're the people make the magic and disappear. So you're a magician. You know how to work in front of an audience, and this is something that we're learning. So. Sheryl went on for her first online art class and was really scared. And that's how we feel. All of us artists do personal things. Chefs aren't used to being in front. They're in the kitchen, in the back cooking.
Yep.
So, we're all looking for things to do, especially as the holidays are coming or as students are remote from campus or the party, everybody's kind of in a different place. So we're rethinking how to entertain. And to use our talent and to share it. So that's how we came about with cooking classes and art classes and bartending classes and stuff like that.
And your stuff is really cool because it's not just a virtual thing. Everything that we've done so far is purely virtual. Everybody's there, we're here, all virtual. But you're actually sending people stuff, if I'm understanding this correctly. All these programs and things, you can actually send them actual things they can hold in their hands, which is totally unique, totally different.
Well, that's what I set out to do. I have to tell you, in the beginning, I was like, okay, this is such a flat, unwelcoming, we're in a computer, right? So
I'm stuck.
Right, hi, can we high five?
Went sideways. There you go. Then we can high five like that.
Oh, I'm backwards.
That's the other way.
Okay.
Ready? Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Go. We're doing it.
Did I break it?
No, we made it work. I think we did it.
So early on, I was like, okay, there are 5 senses. Whenever we do a party, there are 5 senses. You hear, you see, you taste, you smell. What's the 5th sense? But anyway, I wanted to take it outside of just the flat.
Yes.
So we ship things. So in the case of an art class, Cheryl's got a whole, instruction sheet and all the tools for starting a new art talent. We all have talent inside of us.
Yep.
And now it's a great time to try to discover it. So through these kits that we send out, art kits or cooking kits or mixology kits, and then you bring on the person who's a professional in it, they're sharing their knowledge with you and teaching you how to do what they do. So, we've got all kinds of ideas of things we want to continue to teach. I think we're going to get to the point where we're going to have to teach people how to make their own decor, like all of that.
But that's your specialty. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, especially around the holidays and stuff. People are jumping in, they're doing their own events and things. That would actually, I feel like, be a really big benefit. Listen, if you're out there and you want to learn how to do some kind of decor, definitely drop Heidi a comment real quick and let her know what you guys want to see. Because I'm sure ideas, I'm sure, are helpful for you guys. What are people looking for, right?
Yeah.
So definitely, if you're out there, you want to.
We do virtual events now 2-3 a week.
Okay.
And there's we just finished a Zoom mitzvah this morning.
Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought?
Yeah, but there's a script to that, and so we're also creating a holiday party for a corporate event, and they don't want their office team to come in and just kind of hang. We want to send them the ability to make a signature drink for the event, and then let's break out and let's go in this room and learn how to make something. Let's go in this room and have the magician amaze us, or the mentalist, or
that's what we're here for,
Right. Right. And I think for the corporate holiday party, what's cool about doing it online, everyone doesn't have to be in the same room having the same experience.
And that's what I'm sure you have the experience with this as well. Is that I feel like people worry that you can't have an experience, like a really engaging experience online, and I feel like this is definitely something that you and I have been disproving throughout our experiences. Being able, and in today's workshop, I think it's going to be a really core idea of that, is that you're really creating an engaging experience. And what's interesting is that even though this is only a one direction, right now we're having talking, but for everybody else out there is really just watching it, but it's still an engaging experience that people can really connect with, which I think is really cool.
Yep. That's unfortunately we didn't have time to ship kits out to people that are watching today, but the idea is, if you have your own kit, we've done it with cooking. I've seen it done with art. People are in the kitchen. They've got their computer open. You know how when you cook, you might have your laptop open and you keep going over, or you're asking Google, give me the next direction, or whatever. Hey, whatever they call it. Alexa, what's next?
Yes.
You have a live person. So if you have a question, if you want to show off what you're doing, you get feedback. It's more satisfying experience. Plus, you're in a community with other people who are sharing the same passion, and they're might be in another town. And that's what's cool. We have made more connections during the pandemic, honestly, in such a short time than ever before.
Well, and you're also able to talk to people from far, far away, which is really cool. So I think on that note, let's bring Sheryl in.
We should bring Sheryl in, and I should dip out because she's the star.
All right, I will bring her on.
I'll let you do the logistics there.
Thank you. Hello, Sheryl.
Hello.
All right, how are you doing out there? I will let you go. Sheryl, thank you very much for joining us, and I'm going to bring your other screen on here and let everybody go. And thank you very much. Good luck.
Hey. Hello, everyone. My name is, and I am an artist in Owens Mills, Maryland. Let's start with, what is a mandala? For those of you that don't know, a mandala is Sanskrit for circle, and it represents wholeness. You start from the middle and you work your way out. This is an art form that I discovered one day just wasting time Googling on the computer, and I came upon an artist named Elspeth McLean who was doing a demonstration of dot art, and I was mesmerized. I watched it from there. I went home, I looked for tools that I could use to dot, because you can use anything to dot with. You need no special tools. I'm getting some things out. And it's also a very inexpensive hobby to take up. One thing led to another. I started realizing all the meditative, relaxing benefits to it. I don't know if anyone's ever done Zentangle or familiar with that. That's another meditative form of art. Adult coloring books, very relaxing, brings to mindfulness, helps with focus, helps with relaxation, reduces stress and anxiety, which is something that I think we all really need right now. The way I virtually got started with this is I had a couple of workshops I've been doing for a couple of years, in-person workshops, and everything, as we know, has gotten canceled in person. And I'm finding now that this is even better doing it virtually. Everyone will get the tools needed sent to them prior, and you can do it with friends and family from all over. You could have a holiday party. You can just have a girls' night, sip and dot with a signature drink to go along. You can do it from all over. A company can do it as a team building, and people can just do it in the relaxation of their own home. So what I'm going to do is, we've gone over the mental benefits of it. I'm going to show you what is needed, and then I'm going to walk you through a quick dot program. For this one, I think what we're going to do, because it's apropos, is a Christmas ornament. And this is one that I'm going to work on today. There's also many surfaces that you can dot on. You'll never look at things the same. You can dot on 3D, a circle, a flat canvas panel, let's see, a rock, a little stretch canvas, wood circles, things that you can find at the dollar shop or at any of the craft stores. And I will tell you, here's a mug. Once you start doing this, you're never going to look at anything the same. Everything you're going to look at and say, I think I could dot on that. So let me tell you what you need to do this. Number one, you need your dotting tools. In your package, you will get these tools that you can use. If you find that you do enjoy this, these are my favorite tools. And this is all you need. These are crochet hooks that you can get online or at Michael's, Joann's, or Hobby Lobby. These are fabulous. These are actually nail dotting tools that you can get at any beauty store, or again, can get anything on Amazon. And this is what I use to dot. They're the paints. These are the inexpensive acrylic paints that you can get at any craft store. There's tons of different brands. They're all very inexpensive, come in any and every color you can imagine. Different brands, different sales. Let's see. There's also, this is a new fabulous paint brand that's Target now carries crafts. And of course, we've got Martha. What you will find, and we'll go over this as we begin painting, all the different paints are different consistency. Even within the same brand, the consistency may vary. Not a problem. If it's too thin, you'll just add a medium that will, I'm not seeing that right here, a thickening medium, or spray some water in it if it's too thick. And we'll go over the consistency, but let's get started and I will tell you how I set up. The first thing you're going to want to do, whatever shape you're doing, you're going to want to find the center. So of course, from a square, you're going to go, can you see that? You're going to want to go corner to corner. You can get rid of my face now. I'm going to mute this. I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to go corner to corner. Then, because this is 4 inches, I am going to measure in 2 inches. Then I'm going to find the center, go down, find the 2-inch mark, go down, and there you go. You've got your center to where to begin. Now, a lot of people like to put concentric circles around, and it's more so just to make sure you're staying in a circle. And there you got your, I don't really follow the lines, but they're there to give me an idea. That I'm just going in a circle. There you go. For this class, I'm going to move to the Christmas ornament because I just think that's perfect for now. I already found the center. So now I am going to put some circles on it. Tell you, this is the hardest part. Find it easier to take this around. Then also I sell and I have stencils. I'm going to show you how to use that for right now. I think that's what I'm going to do to get my slices. So I know that I'm staying. Now I'm going to take and make a line just to get an idea of the sections. This does, and they're flexible. You can put it on a rock. And we are ready to start. I'm going to take my paints. I'm going to follow this look, so I'm going to use those colors. You do not need a lot of paint. I waste a lot of paint because I always put in too much. I'm going to go with different shades of blues and teals. And of course, because it's an ornament, we're going to go with gold. This is a brand new brand that I'm trying today. This is what I'm thinking is Joann's brand, and I liked it. It seems to be really good consistency. And then I always, if I can find it, add white. And I'll show you, that's how I get different colors, is by mixing. And incidentally, this is the kit of how your paints will come, as well as the dotting tools. I am going to start with this tool. I will tell you that your center dot really is your hardest dot, because that is the foundation. That in the first row, trying to get it centered. And if it's not centered, it's not centered. There you go. This is, the paint is supposed to be the consistency of like yogurt. And you just want to dip it in just the very end. You don't want it coming up the sides. This is actually a little thick. Then you're going to take your tool and you're very carefully straight up and down. You're going to lightly touch your tool to the surface. I'm not even going all the way down. You're just going to wait till you see the paint spread out a little. Then you're going to lift straight up. And there you go. You've got your first dot. Now, as you go along, you'll use a paper towel and you will wipe off your tool so you don't transfer color. For my second row, and you will have instructions in your kit too, I'm going to take a dotting tool and I'm going to go around. The first thing you're going to do, we start is, and I can see I didn't put these lines on right, but it doesn't matter because I don't really use lines. At 6 o'clock, at 12 o'clock, I'm going to place a dot. I am going to hug it close to the top dot, to the middle dot, and go down and up. Next, I'm going to go to 6 o'clock. And because this has this ornament top, that's why I'm paying attention. There really is a top and bottom to this piece. Typically, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go to 6 o'clock. Next, I'm going to redip. I'm going to go to 3 o'clock. And if your dot's not big enough and consistent, just redip and redot. Put a dot, and now 9 o'clock. There you go. Next, I'm going to go in between those. Find the center of those two by eyeballing. Or if you have your lines, you can go by that. But I like to visually do it. I'm going to go in between. Strings of line. In between. And in between. I really never have a pattern in mind. Like I could be going off of this one, but there's no rules. Anyone can do this, no artistic talent, and it's just as you go along, I kind of make it up, whatever we're feeling. This is meant to be a relaxing activity. Be sure to breathe, be sure to keep your body loose, don't grip too hard. Then I'm going to go in between these two. Same thing, dip in between. Dip, dot. Dip, dot. Dot. And there we go. We've got our second row. Now I'm going to pick up another tool that's going to be slightly bigger than this. I like to go up in size with each row. So I'm thinking this is bigger a little bit, or I think I'm going to use one of the dotting tools. And this is what I'm looking for, one of the dowels. Let's see, what color do I want to do this time? I think I'm going to go with the teal. Get it under here. So again, I'm going to just dip the tip. And there you go. Let's see. Just have a little bit coming off. You can see that. Now for the next row, I'm going to want to hug closely to the first row and go in between these dots. And let me just wipe this off and show you what I'll do a lot. I will pick up my next tool and I'll kind of go like that to see, is this the right tool? And this looks like it should work if I dot, but it's a little big. So I think I'm going to go back to this big round one next. And we can always come back and make them bigger. So now I'm going to go, and I'm going to go in between. And Same thing, dip and in between. Dip and in between. Just a little bit on there. Barely touching, going straight down and lifting straight back up. And had you all had your own supplies for the course, we would have practiced a lot, but I'm just gonna get right into this and show you. You get some practice paper to practice your dots on. I do want to show you how you clean up mistakes because they're very easy. I'm going to turn this around with me. Always remember to breathe. Now, when I've done some workshops, people are like, I can't do this, I can't get it right. It's because they're going too fast. This really is an art of focusing. You need to be mindful of where you're placing, and you have to go slow, just like Zentangling. Just go slowly and think about your placement. Now I think I will go up to this one. And for my next color, I think I will go back to this blue. Dip. Again, I'm going to go in between the dots. Also, another thing I do is I use my pinky to kind of steady my hand when I'm doing things. You're basically going to start in the middle and work your way out. And I want to get to a few other techniques that you can do with your dotting tools. Down and straight up. This is also a great activity for a birthday party, a bridal shower, or just family spending a little time together from all over. We also can have different color options to choose from. If you want to do a Christmas ornament, or if you'd like to do a canvas, a wood circle. I have here, a heart-shaped ornament. They have heart-shaped canvases, which are real pretty. And there we go. For my next row, what I want to show you is how just adding white makes such a difference. I'll start sometimes with adding 2 drops, and then the next time I'll add 3 drops just to have the colors fade out. You just mix it together. To create a lighter color. Now I'm going to go up a size again. I think I'm going to, let's see. Like I said, sometimes just hold my tool and see what size would work best. I'm going to go with this size. Now I'm going to use the lighter color. Right in between. Dip in, just the end. Straight up and down, barely touching. And as you see, I'm kind of going around this circle now, and that's the purpose of it, is just so you can stay round. You can see it's not perfect, but when it's all done, you just don't notice. Really, only I notice. We're our worst critics. There we go. Now, what I like to do that I think adds a lot of beauty is, typically I'll do white, but because it's an ornament, I'm going to go with gold. I will take a small dotting tool, which we could just use this. And I'm going to go in between these and put a little gold dot. The string's getting in my way. Okay, for my next one, I am going to show you how to walk the dots. I'm going to take a piece of paper first, show you how we do this. So I'm going to make a dot, down and up. I'm going to zoom in on this. There we go. This is called walking the dots. You put your tool in, your dotting tool, and instead of re-dipping, I'm going to try to go backwards. You put it down, 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 and they start getting smaller because the paint's worn. The paint comes off. So find your center and go dot, 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 hugging your circle. And when I do the other side, I re-dip, and I like to re-dot the top and go right down, down, until you run out of paint. That is called walking the dots. Or another pretty technique is make your dot. There, you've got your perfect circle, your dot. And let me find that. Let's just use white. You dot all the way around. You're going to have to re-dip and turn as you go. You hug close to your circle. And I'm telling you, with practice, this does not take any artistic talent. It just takes practice. How pretty those are. All right, let's figure out what we want to do on here. I think I'm going to go to the teal again. And I'm going to play with my tools. And I think I'm just going to do a big dot and walk dots around it. So I'm going to go like that. remember to try not to tense up and stretch a little. Breathe. As you can see, they're not landing right in the right spot, but it doesn't matter. There are no rolls, no mistakes. Though I do have to show you how to clean up. All right, that was not perfect. And had we had more time, I would then do the cleanup, which is as simple as, let me find my Q-tip. Okay. Where's the Q-tip? Looking for a Q-tip. I have, here they are. I moved the bag. Here, I just actually did make a mistake. I'm going to dip my Q-tip in some water and clean it up. If you make a big mistake, wash the whole thing off. You can wash it off and start all over, paint black. And then you can touch up areas with the paintbrush that you've cleaned up. You can touch up with the paintbrush. So let me do some walking the dots. Okay, when you are walking the dots and you're working, you want to see down towards, you want to make sure you get the top, oops, which I guess would be the 6 o'clock spot. That's a big one. You get a smaller circle. Like I said, no rules, just figuring it out. I'm going to take white and I'm going to go right at the 6 o'clock, dot, 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 dot. Here. Hug as close as you can to the circle. Do it at 6 o'clock. Now, another technique I'd like to show you is swoops. Let's make a circle. Then you can take your dotting tool and start and swoop. And then drag your paint. Dot, drag. Dot, drag. Now on many pieces, and I probably have some up here, I like to do several rows of walking the dots. And you'll see how pretty this looks. I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to do my dot, dot, dot. Redo my center dot, that pretty? Now, if you have the room, you can kind of fake your bottom part to go all the way around and just fill in where the paint ran out and go all the way around. Let's try one more row so you can see how pretty this looks. Basically, by learning how to make a dot, you can just, between colors, mixing paints, different techniques, there's so much you can do with this. Now I'd like to show you, we're going to go to this one, because what really adds to these is adding dimension. I already went through and added a lighter shade, and I don't really know if you can tell, and you need to wait for it to dry. You can speed things along with the hair dryer if you wanted to, but what I like to do is then with all my colors, I'll add a substantial amount of white to lighten it up. So I'm going to add white to this and lighten this up. And like you can see here on all these, how it adds dimension by going back in, adding a white dot in the center really does a lot. And I think that's what we'll do for this. So now that I've already added the lighter color, I'd like to go through and add some white accents. So I am going to go back into these, and I'm going to add a white dot in the middle. And you will see how much this adds. And you do have to wait for the colors to dry before you can come back in. Look at the dimension it's adding. You can even add some gold dots. That would be pretty. I think for these, no, I think I'm going to add white for this one too. Remember to go slow, head for the center, breathe, keep your hand, not loosen your hand. And I will tell you, this can become addicting and time just disappears. After a long, stressful day, it is extremely relaxing. Now for these, I think I want to add some gold because this is a Christmas ornament. So I am going to, what size do I want? I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to dip and dot. Now for these, I typically always do my background in black. There's no rule. It's just what I prefer. I feel like it makes the colors pop. And I always use a flat paint because at the end, I'll show you, we varnish. We put a top coat on, which you can do glossy, or you can do satin, or you can do flat. It's just all personal preference. Nowadays, they have so many different kinds of paints out. I brought this alone and I haven't tried it. And I think I have another color I want to use. This is, oh, here it is. These are called color shift paint. And they're like iridescent. Let me show you. They're really pretty iridescent paint. And they're really good to top coat, topped out with too. I don't find they cover great on their own, but let's take this and start adding it this color. And that looks really pretty. I'm going to hold it up when I'm done this. It adds like a shimmer. I'll let you see that, if it'll allow. They're called Color Shift Metallic Paints. And I'm making a mess here. See, can you see that? They also sell, and I just brought this if anyone's interested in the Christmas ornaments, they sell glitter paint too, which is very appropriate to top dot with for an ornament, or if you just like sparkles. Another thing, when your piece is finished, that you can do to add to it is you can put a rhinestone. You can glue rhinestones. That would need to be bigger. Can you see that? And I'll show you I have. Here's a Christmas ornament with a rhinestone in the middle. So really there are no rules. Just do what makes you happy, but they could be great, great DIY gifts for the holidays. I want to make sure I've gone over pretty much everything. And of course, all this will come with your kit. Oh, another thing I like to mention is this is so easy to travel with. When we go to the beach or on a vacation, imagine just sitting out on the balcony. Everything fits in a little carry container. You take a few things, you take a few canvases, walk around, pick up, go find yourself some seashells. I've dotted those before. It's endless what you can dot. If you are interested in finding out more about this, there are many people online that have videos. They're mesmerizing. There are a lot of famous dot artists out there. I love to think that I like to share this. I would love for other people to be able to get the same mental health benefit and relaxing and just make some beautiful things and turn off the TV and just dot for a little while. When you are done and it's dry, there are many different options. Get an acrylic varnish. This one's real shiny, non-yellow and clear finish, and it just protects. All these have been protected. For these, I use a multi-purpose paint. This one's enamel, can be on glass. Has that on the top. Or they have these, which are multi-surface, that you can paint on any surface. If you care to paint on a mug, You can use your multi-silk surface, and you can Google, or they have instructions on the back of how you put it in the oven for like an hour. But these are just, oh, I'm going to show you a plate too. This was done. This is a plate that I did, that I put resin on top of. You can see I used many of the different techniques I talked about today with mixing the colors. It's all about color and just varying the size of your tools. This down here happens when you just go up a size of tool each time. You'll get that diamond shape. Here we've got the swoops. Here we've got rows and rows of walking the dots. And basically, that is dot art. The important thing is no rules, no talent needed, to just have fun and to enjoy. And that's it.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. That's the end of our week. I'm going to bring Heidi back in here. Heidi, thank you guys so much. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Thank you.